smokies are a form of social commentary and not in any way meant to put down the ideas and ideals of any political or gender identity. You are all fair game in the eyes of the wicked, and we see you. I've done what I feel right. It just feels like
the world is like a ride at an amusement park, and when you choose to go on it, you think it's real, because that's how powerful our minds are. And the ride goes up and down and round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored, and it's very loud, and it's fun for a while. Some people have been on the ride for a long time, and they begin to question, is this real, or is this just a ride? And other people have remembered, and they come back to us, they say, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid, ever, because this is just a ride.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Have a look at, see that chap over there? Take your hand off my penis!
The Deputy Secretary, the Deputy Secretary, Deputy Secretary.
This guy is fucking stupid!
Stay cheesy. All right, and one more sound. That's what I'm talking about, baby. How's it going, my beautiful starflies? Another tragic morning on the 22nd of October. Man. All right, so let's just get started. Now, yesterday I did a show that was really kind of selfish. And it wasn't my best work. It definitely wasn't. I guess I let the people get the best of me, and you should never allow anyone to do that. But it's totally human if you do. So yeah, I was being attacked from so many different angles for who I am, what I do, and what I love to do and joke about. And honestly, I just kind of I didn't want to, but it's like, you guys wanted to pick a fight with me. Well, then let's do it. But I came to realize that it's not even fun, because the MAGA right are the fucking worst at talking shit I've ever seen. They're the worst shit talkers ever. Cheers. So it's just like, it's fucking pointless. Sorry, it sounded like Robert Kennedy Jr. there. So yeah, it's just it was just a lot of shit from MAGA morons that, don't realize that they're in a cult. And then I started thinking about it, and I'm just like, it's not your job to pull these people out of the cult. It's their job to realize that they're in a goddamn cult. So they should deal with, the aftermath of it. So, yeah, I ended up just flipping out about it. But there really is no right or wrong on what, who's a better person, I guess. But there's definitely answers to who was a better president. And for I had to make a really big point on how I am not a fan of Biden. Biden has done the same thing Obama did, made a lot of promises and didn't follow through. How have you not finished the marijuana legality bill? Like, how is this not fucking fully federally fucking legal in every single way, shape, and form? Now, I understand you want to believe in states' rights, and that's totally cool, but we also need a basic federal guideline that says, I don't care where I am, this is okay. And we have that for freedom of speech. Why not freedom of smokage? You guys let these people fucking drink. You even put an amendment to take it away, and then you fucking took the amendment back because of bootlegging. So the fact that I'm a marijuana advocate is like one of the first things that the MAGA right likes to go after me on. And I don't know if you notice, but even on our symbol, we have marijuana leaves. I've been a marijuana advocate since I was about, I want to say about 8, 10 years old. And so to attack me because I smoke pot and you guys are literally in a cult and, want to harm people because they don't like your guy, that's fucking dangerous. All right. And the topic of today is the toxic lack of masculinity because of people like the Trump cult. When you have a cult leader who pretends to be a tough guy all the time, who's really a downright pussy, and you could bitch slap him in his face and he wouldn't fight back. I guarantee you, if you picked a fight with him, he would not fight back. He would be the type of guy to curl in a little ball and then let you kick him for a little while till you get bored with him. He's one of those fucking guys. And you can see it. You can see it that he's one of those bullies that you could fuck him up in front of his friends and you'll still be the douchebag. That's what he's done. And it's pretty simple. All he had to do was change the word I to we. That's how he did it. The idea that I'll go to jail for the country. No, you're going to the jail because you are a piece of shit that lies about everything. Okay? So, again, not a Biden lover, fucking Trump hater, though. So I'll vote for anything other than Trump. And I know that my vote doesn't even count. I don't even vote. I'm just saying, if my vote counted, you wouldn't get it. All right? And I wouldn't just throw it away. I'd give it to a candidate that was better suited or at least actually wanted to do something decent for our country. Now, I want you to see something that this is what's turning out to be the insanity that we're going around with the toxic masculinity. I think there's a serious lack of masculinity, knowing the numbers of bone density have decreased. Men are failing their physicals in the military, and it seems like it's not just you guys. We have been losing our our strength. We've been losing our density. All of us have over a period of time, and that's why you have a thing called toxic masculinity, because people don't see it as often. And so when they do see it, it's now special, where it's really not. And, it doesn't take a tough guy to be an alpha. It seems like it just takes self-confidence to be an alpha. Like, you're an alpha or an incel if you try to ask a girl out, on the street, if you just run into her, to me, that starts an entire, that's an exact, what's the word? It's just counterproductive, and it just ends up making all of us not want to talk to each other, and I refuse to live like that. I love strangers. So what I'm going to show you here is an actual guy that is using a fucking baby as a human shield. Now, don't worry, nothing's going to happen to the poor baby. But the very fact that this guy did this shows us the levels of the toxic lack of masculinity and real men. Instead, we're getting stuck entirely with too many douchebags like this asshole. And so it's really getting to the point where it's all around, because it also happened recently in New York, where some rich white boy was with his rich white girl. They're in suits and beautiful dresses in the middle of the night in the fucking city. Yeah, you're gonna get robbed, especially when you look like a weird ass Eddie Cochran scrawny motherfucker. You have to remember that you are always being watched, all right? Being out in public, no one is guaranteed privacy. That's why you can film anything outside. So when you're acting a fool, someone's watching you. Now, I try to make this point to these three kids that were making fools of themselves and trying to make a little spectacle. And eventually, I had to just snap at these kids because they were being such fucking marks. There was a part of me that actually wanted to rob them myself. So I had to tell them, dude, y'all need to chill the fuck out because you are not alone here. And I said, you know why I'm yelling at you right now? To protect you. Because when you act a fool, people notice. And when I see three little white boys that look like a bunch of bitches acting like a bunch of bitches, yeah, I know who I'm going to rob. And right away, they went back to their seat, and this older black guy, we always just call him old school, he straight up turns around and just points at me, and he goes, I would listen to the man. And so I laughed, and right away he goes, I'll admit it, I kind of wanted to. You know, there was a time where I might have done it. And we both laughed because, you know, it's sick, but it's true. And you guys, we gotta ball up, nut up here. I mean, seriously.
Body camera video allegedly shows a Florida man resisting arrest
Of course
by
it's
holding
Florida.
a baby in front of himself to avoid being tased.
This guy is using a baby as a shield because he doesn't want to get
September
tased.
27th in Flagler County, Florida. Officials there say a 27-year-old man from Palm Coast abducted a 1-year-old boy, later using his body as a human shield.
Show me your f***ing hands, dude! Put the baby down! Put the kid down! Put the kid down!
Officials say the suspect, Brandon Leoner, allegedly abducted his girlfriend's 1-year-old son while armed with a handgun. He then drove off with the boy in his lap.
I have a tango deployment. We're fighting with him right now. I have the kid.
Oh.
After driving recklessly through...
Okay, I'm done. I can't listen to that shit. That is so fucking pathetic and sad, ridiculous, and so frustrating. Like, am I the only one that wants to fucking murder this guy right now? Seriously? Oh, hey man, what's going on? Saying my comments are too long. Yeah, that's the chat box. Nothing I can do about that. So it's just really sad that, you know, one, when you get locked up, when this dude gets locked up, he's going away. I mean, you're not only going away, but you're going to get your ass beat in jail because the one thing we look for the most out of, well, I wouldn't say we, but when you see the big ups, when you get locked up, they want to see your paperwork. Now, if you try to lie and say you ain't got paperwork, right away they're going to start thinking you're on some child stuff or some domestic stuff. Now, either way, they love to fuck you up, man. If you are a person that harms children, if you're a person that harms women, you know, anyone like that, yeah, that shit don't fly in jail. And that's why dudes get their ass whooped. And so this is what I'm talking about. That is not masculinity. We have a problem with too many damn pussies in this world. I mean, that is the most unhuman thing. It doesn't even call it manly. No feminist, no masculine man, no alpha, no beta. No one should ever do that. No one would, unless you are a complete pussy and half psychopath or sociopath. You know, like that. Those are the only people that are going to do that stuff. And so it's really going to get to a point where this can only go downhill from here. This can only get worse from here. Hang on one second. Let me read the comments. Maybe. I don't know. Taking away, I don't know. Phones are, God damn it. The good thing about it is that having a camera on every person is great because we get to see every angle. And like I said before, history is no longer being written by the winners when we have a system that is, everyone has some sort of, body camera or something similar. Now, here is, I want to show you an actual real masculinity right here is this man who used himself as a shield for his basically to save his woman. And that is a serious human being right there. That is, again, not going to say masculine. I don't even want to say masculine. I want to say that's being a human being. But for him, that's what a man should do. This is what we do. We are here to protect, not to harm, and that's the difference. A masculine man and a real alpha knows that he is the alpha, so he's going to have to protect. That's what you do. You protect your village. You protect your people. That's the whole point of being an alpha male. And it is not to act like a little bitch. And so this
moment of courage. A woman trips as she flees the shooter. Her boyfriend crawls on top of her, acting as a human shield. Then he drags her to take cover behind a concrete planter.
This is my hero.
Brittany Dungy and Cameron Crowder returned to the scene and spoke exclusively to Inside Edition.
In that moment, I thought that we was going to die. I fell down so fast. I actually thought.
Look at how he stops, realizes it, and then immediately climbs over her. Because that's what we do.
Hit one of us. I was hoping it would be me more over her.
Just 3 weeks ago, Brittany and Cameron became parents. It was their first night out since the birth of their baby.
He's the best boyfriend in the world, the absolute best.
Absolutely.
He has a big heart, a good heart, and now everyone can finally see that.
We're also speaking with Connor Bett's former girlfriend.
Wow.
The weird thought, my ex-boyfriend is a mass murderer.
Caitlin Johnson dated Betts for 2 months earlier this year before breaking up in May. She says their first date was...
I'm sorry about that. I'm getting distracted by the other story. So yeah, that is what every woman should be looking for in their boyfriend. I ended up trying to find the trying to find the footage of the example that I was talking about, where you had two, white people in the middle of the street. In the middle of the night, dead on out in the street, and you guys are wearing clothes that are worth more than our rent. And, you may see it as you just being yourself, but you don't realize that, others see it as you're coming around here flaunting your shit around me. And, that's, unfortunately, jealousy is a bitch. And because we live in a monetary system, everything is competition. Everything becomes competition and tribalism, and then we all start becoming cliquey, and that's what leads to just more chaos and more tribalism. And it's ridiculous. It's just a matter of it should be a matter of just knowing that your strength is there for protection, not for offending. It's not for offense, it's for defense. It's to make sure that your family's safe, to make sure your kids are safe. We lift weights, we do shit that we have to do, and we'll do it the hard way. We do extra shit to kind of build it. I mean, what guy doesn't do that when you're walking down the street and you have like 2 gallons of milk in your hand? Every man will just start lifting them. And you can always tell because we have to. It's just a nice way of just keeping up, making sure we're good. So there is nothing wrong with competition. There's nothing wrong with being an alpha male, as long as you are using it for good and not going around picking fights with people. Now, they constantly love to bring up the toxic masculinity of America, but 9 times out of 10, I'm seeing more of this. And wait, I'm sorry. That's yep. All right, whatever. That's weird. Instead, I'm seeing more of this.
Yes, it is neurological. A 2011 study found significant differences in the cognitive styles of conservatives and liberals. Now, while of course there is variation based on environmental factors, the study found that political orientation did correlate with brain structure. Liberalism was associated with a gray matter volume of the anterior cingulate cortex. It's the center of the brain that is responsible for a lot of high-level functions like ethics, morality, decision-making, and impulse control. Conservatism, on the other hand, was associated with the larger right amygdala. The right amygdala is the fear center of the brain. Now, while on their own, these factors won't necessarily dictate your belief system. However, it does influence what you respond to. So when you know your audience responds to fear, why wouldn't you just feed them things to be afraid of? That's why outlets like Fox News and QAnon are so successful. They know how to rile up their audiences. That's why conservative parties also tend to coalesce better than liberal parties. It's a lot easier to unite people when they're afraid. As long as you're addressing what they're most afraid of, they'll follow you on the rest.
And there we go. And she just basically said it. Everything I said, she just basically said it in the most intelligent way possible. When I mentioned tribalism, because that's all it is. It's literally power through fear. And then if you look at, Hitler, he had that famous quote, it is better to be feared than to be respected. And I will never understand that way of thinking, because it's just, if people fear you, they can't love you. If they can't love you, they can't care. It just simply doesn't connect. And if you're starting your foundation on something completely fucking stupid, then it gets us here to where we are right now. And one of the main guys, let me just show you probably what, in my opinion, like the definition of a weak man right here. This is a definition of a very weak man. Here's a man that literally is about to lick the ass of the of the guy meant to replace him, that his own party kicks him out of and says, you suck because this guy says, well, you suck, so you suck, get out of here. And this is all Matt Gaetz. So you got, Matt Gaetz, Bobo the Clown, MTG, all these morons, parading around Jim Jordan because Matt Gaetz says so. They got to be having like a heavenly triangle in there. There's got to be. Ugh, that's gross. Ugh. I'm sorry. Marjorie Taylor Greene looks like Eric Stoltz from Mask. That's exactly what she looks like. If you mix her with like Hulk Hogan, that's what you got right there. I swear to God, she looks like Randy the Ram from The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke.
Will say, using their poll-tested phrases. But let me correct the record. Jim Jordan is an effective legislator. To legislate is about more than the name on the bill. It's about reaching compromise and working long hours behind the scenes.
Oh, here comes the booze.
To get the job done.
No, did you say compromise? Boo!
The House will come to order.
That was the former spineless.
I love that. There was a former spineless Speaker of the House, and now we're just going to put in a dickless Speaker of the House. So we're trading in a guy with no spine for a man with no dick and also no jacket. So again, Jim Jordan, he's literally, I call him Johnny Tight Lips, because I mean, anybody that assists in pedophilia and keeps his mouth shut for over 10 years and lets this shit happen, and you're telling me that you worked with the biggest pedophile that we know of in university history at Ohio State, and you're going to say you never saw anything when every student has said, yeah, everyone knew. Because the guy Strauss that he used to work, Jim Jordan used to work with Strauss. Strauss had raped hundreds of fucking college students, and these are all men and female. And he would shower for over an hour with these boys. So like their own management were like, "Hey, doc, they don't like when you shower." Well, you guys shower. Yeah, not for 2 hours, bro. We do our 5-minute shower and we get the fuck out. So this is what I'm talking about. This is the masculinity that you guys look for. It is just pathetic. It's not commonplace for today's generation. It just isn't. It really isn't. It's not nothing is common. The only thing that are commonplace here is hate, division, and stupidity. And with that note, I guess I'll take my leave and tell you that instead of that, maybe you should go with peace, love, and understanding. I don't know. Maybe Marvin Gaye was kind of onto something. Fuck. Oh, yeah. By the way, I love how McCarthy says he's an effective legislator. It's more about the person. It's more than just the person on the bill. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you should be able to know how to pass one. Jim Jordan has never passed a bill, never been associated with a bill that passed in his entire career. And that's who you want for speaker. That's fucking genius, you fucking cult. All right? So peace, love, understanding. Stay free, stay safe, stay yourselves. See you on the other side. Most of all, please just stay cheesy, my friends. That's all I can ask for.
Please note these are a form of social commentary and not in any way meant to put down the ideas and ideals of any political or gender identity. You are all fair game in the eyes of the wicked, and we see you.
It just feels like
The world is like a ride at an amusement park, and when you choose to go on it, you think it's real, because that's how powerful our minds are. And the ride goes up and down and round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored, and it's very loud, and it's fun for a while. Some people have been on the ride for a long time, and they begin to question, is this real, or is this just a ride? And other people have remembered, and they come back to us, and they say, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid, ever, because this is just a ride.
Gentlemen, this is democracy manifest. Have a look at, see that chap over there? He'll take your hand off my penis!
The Deputy Secretary, the Deputy Secretary, Deputy Secretary.
This guy is fucking stupid!
Stay cheesy.